Yo, what's going on people? Hope you're all doing well today. As you can see, we are in the bathroom and today I'm going to be doing a bit of a unfiltered video on my current head shaving routine. So let's take a look at what we're working with. We got about 5 to 6 days of stubble growth here. You can see that. Got the horseshoe toilet seat action going and everything. You can see at the back, it's all filled out. So, we got some work to do. Now in terms of my current routine, I do work from home at the moment, and so I don't have to worry as much about going out there and looking crisp and sharp every single day. I can just leave it to about once a week when it comes to shaving my head. That's usually enough for me to maintain myself throughout the weekend, so I'll usually do it on a Friday or maybe a Saturday morning so I'm looking good when I go out and I see friends and family. And at the moment, in terms of the blade I'm using one from Head Shave Club. As you can see here, it's got a special design to it, formerly known as the halftime razor. And what I like about this one, it gets the job done very quickly. Now I will say, I've done a review on this video as well, I'll link that in the description. I will say that it is a very sharp blade, so if you've got sensitive skin, it may not be the best for you in that sense. I've got sensitive skin, but because I'm only using it once a week, it kind of takes the edge off. I don't really have to worry about the irritation as much because it's only once a week. Now in terms of moisturizing and lubricating the old head, I'm using this at the moment. Kind of stole this from my wife, I'm not gonna lie. Tresemme, used by professionals, recyclable bottle. I'm reading every bit of the bottle, but the main point is, it's a moisturizer, conditioner for your head. So that will work really well. Okay, so what we're gonna start by doing is just going over the head with some hot water a few times. Some people like to use a towel. I like to just go over my head a few times with the water itself. So let's do that. And what this does is, it opens up the follicles in your head, so it makes the shave easier in a sense. Oh, look at that vein in my head. Ah, that's nice. Nice warm water. Okay, now we've done that. Okay, I'm looking a bit wet now, but what we're gonna do next, I'm just gonna leave this running. Hot water, and the purpose of filling out the sink with hot water is just so that we can ensure when the blade does dry out or we need to rinse it out a little bit, we've got the hot water there. Okay, what I'm doing here, you can't see this, but I'm rinsing out the blade with the hot water as well, just to ensure the blades are all dried up. And again, what a lot of people tend to do, I've noticed, is when it comes to actually applying their conditioner or their shaving foam or whatever, a lot of people tend to leave that conditioner to get dry, but what you have to do, and what I found works, is once you've actually applied the conditioner, you want to make sure you do it with a somewhat damp head, because I kind of feel like that helps the moisture of your head as well. If you kind of leave it there, it tends to dry up a little bit. So you want to kind of combine it with a somewhat damp head, maybe dab your hands in the water like I've shown in the sink there. Hydrate your head with the water as well, just so that conditioner doesn't dry up on your head, and then there's less chance of obviously the blade pulling on your skin as well when you're actually going about the shave. Now you may also be wondering, in terms of my actual hair length at the moment, it is quite long. And in the past I have advised people, especially beginners, that if you have got say 5 days worth of stubble growth, it is always better to just grab an electric razor, grab an electric trimmer and trim off the excess hairs first, just so they don't get pulled or caught up in the blade. But in terms of this one, I kind of know what I'm doing just down to experience, and I also always ensure that I go with the grain first. But yeah, if you are a beginner, I would always say that stick to the electric trimmer first, get those excess hairs off, and then go for the razor blade afterwards. You don't want to injure yourself, you don't want to give yourself any irritation. The reason I do it is because I'm a bit of an OG with this shit now, but I'm also a bit of an idiot because I just call myself an OG, but hey, that's neither here nor there. Okay, hopefully you guys can see that. Yep. There's... can see that. So you can see this blade kind of works in a seesaw motion. You go in with the grain, and then you go in against. I'm missing a few hairs, so maybe I need to wet the blade a little bit, but to be fair with this part right here, to be fair with how soft my hair feels, I feel like I can just go against the grain, so fuck it, I'm just gonna do that. Again, take my advice, don't take what I'm doing here too seriously. If you are a beginner, go for the electric razor first, the electric trimmer first. Don't risk yourself at the expense of getting the job done quickly. But like I said, I'm used to this blade and I'm kind of used to how my head reacts to certain blades, and also in terms of this blade, I wouldn't be doing this any more than once a week. Okay, now let's have a look at that horseshoe action. There we go. What do you think, guys? Shall we just call it a day at that? Looking a bit fucked up, but I'm only joking. It is what it is. If you want to shave the middle part of your head and go out there with this bit, all good, all good. Doesn't mean you can't be an alpha male and go out there and kill it. You could be the next Prince William for all you know. So like I said, the way I feel at the moment, I don't really need to go with the grain, so I'm just going to go straight for against. Bit of an unconventional way of using this, but look at that. Hopefully you guys see that. And that's a good point for this part of your head as well. If you're going on the sides and you've got very sensitive skin, it is always better to go across than against. So against would be going upwards in this case. I tend to do a bit of both, not gonna lie. But yeah, if you're exceptionally sensitive on that area of your scalp, maybe just consider going across rather than upwards. I'm also going to go one round with against the grain there. Just for that extra closeness. Just to make sure it lasts through the weekend. Like I said, I'm only doing this once a week, so I can afford to go a bit deeper and closer on the shave without worrying about too much irritation. I was thinking about making a separate video about this, but I kind of had this idea that it's so important for guys to understand that just because they go through something such as hair loss, it is so important to still keep prideful in the sense of your appearance. It's great that you obviously accept hair loss for what it is, you accept the fact that you're balding, but when it comes to something like head shaving, for me, I look at it in the sense that I'm not giving up just because I've lost my hair. I still care about my appearance, and having a clean shaven head, having a trimmed beard that looks good, taking care of myself in terms of physically, in terms of the gym, and even dressing well. These are all aspects that you need to care about, and care about even a little bit more if you go through something like hair loss, because that trauma is going to hit you in the start and it's going to feel like that's it, your attraction's gone. But it also comes down to the fact you've got to care about your appearance. You can't stop caring. I feel like people do this when they're older as well sometimes. Sometimes you'll get some older women, for example, who do this, who when they start wrinkling up or when they put on a bit of weight, they feel like they can't wear nice clothes anymore because of the way they've changed physically. But whenever they actually do make that effort, people are amazed. People think, flipping hell, you look 15 years younger. Why have you been hiding yourself in all those baggy clothes? And why have you not actually gone out your way to make the effort in all the other times we've seen you? And it's the same for men. It's the same for men, man. If you're in this situation and you've lost your hair, it may feel like the worst situation in the world right now, but the fact is you've still got to be prideful of your appearance. You need to give a shit about yourself, and caring about your appearance isn't vanity, it isn't arrogance, it's the fact that it's self-care. You need to give a shit about yourself, because otherwise, if you feel like hair loss is going to be the end of you, if you feel like your looks diminishing or your hair diminishing is going to be the end of you and the end of your dating life, then it is going to be, because you've already put it in your head that you shouldn't bother anymore. Don't be like these black pillars, man. Anyway, back to it. Okay, so I can't see shit now, but that's fine. Tip as well for people when they're shaving the back of their head, what I tend to do is I'll use my other hand and my fingers to kind of keep a guide and a track of where I am, just in case I sort of forget. That's why you can see the other hand is sort of working as a tracker while I go through the process of shaving my head. You can see here as well that I'm doing some long strokes, some short strokes. You can see here I'm going for the short strokes just because I know some of the hair is lengthy and I want to take my time in getting them off. Even though I am working at a fairly lengthy, fairly quick pace. And remember guys, after you go through the process of shaving your head, it is not just a case of that's it, you're done. Make sure that, after you've cleaned your head, you've showered, whatever, make sure you're moisturizing your head with something good. I've recommended in the past, CeraVe is a good product to use when it comes to moisturizers. CeraVe moisturizing cream. That is great in terms of hydration and also the fact that it has no fragrance in the product. That's something I've spoke about on the channel before in terms of skincare. Sometimes fragrance can be one of the worst things in the product because it makes it smell nice, but it also kind of detriments all the other good elements of that product, and it can also lead to irritation for those of you with more sensitive skin. So yeah, I definitely recommend CeraVe. Not sponsored by the way. My wife got me on it and it's done wonders for my skin and especially my scalp. Oh, before I forget as well, when it comes to your neck, one thing I tend to do is just go with the grain. The lower part of your neck, I mean, so, because I found that is one area where I will get a lot of bumps and a lot of irritation if I go against the grain. Just going over that last bit at the back of my head, make sure I haven't left anything over. Okay, so we're done with that. Now we just got to rinse all this out and rinse out our head. So I'm gonna park you guys right here. Okay guys, as you can see, we've got that chrome dome on points. As you can see there, bam. Look from the sides, bam. Back of the head, all good, feels all smooth. No irritation, I'm happy with that. Now, all we need to sort out is the sides of the beard. You can see they're a bit scruffy. So for this, I use a standard Gillette blade just to kind of clear it up because it is a bit harder with this one, just to kind of the angle of it, and because obviously it's got a peculiar shape to it. So kind of same thing here. What we're gonna do, put a bit of water on our face and again the same moisturizer that we used before, just applying it to the area that we want to clean up. Okay, let's have a look how we've done. You can see there, we got the roughness off, got the sharpness to it back a little bit. Not bad. Not bad, and that took about 20 minutes. That's probably longer than usual just because I'm recording as well, so I've had to stop and start a little bit. But usually I could get the head shave done in about less than 10, sometimes even 5 minutes with that blade. A lot of people have said that they can usually get a 2-minute job done with that blade, but I like to take my time a little bit just because, as I said, when you've got sensitive skin, it is better to just be a bit mindful. And like I said, I wouldn't say to anyone to grab a blade if they do have 6 days worth of stubble growth like I have here. The only reason I do it is because I know how my irritation works. My irritation kind of works that if I do that, for example, twice a week, then yes, I am going to get very irritated. But because I know I'm only doing it once a week, I can afford to go about doing something to that extent. But yeah, all that's left for me to do is jump in the shower over there. You guys ain't going to see that, unfortunately, but, well, maybe fortunately. But either way, hopefully this video was able to help you, and if you do need a full-fledged tutorial in regards to head shaving, in regards to what not to do as well, I have got 2 very useful tutorials on my channel, which I'll link in the description for you. Be sure to check them out. And as always, if you found this video useful or entertaining, be sure to hit the like and subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you're notified for the next one. My name is Ricky Benang, and I'll catch you soon. Much love. Thank you.